Hello there guys, it's Mike the Mank here with another YouTube video. In this video I'm going to be talking about a series that I'm going to be bringing, which is why you should use, which is based on weapons, warframes, melee weapons, pretty much why you should use these things, and basically going to wreck on it. So the very first one is going to be one of my personal favourites, and it's going to be in the melee class, and it is the Atterax. Now if you've never heard of the Atterax, or if you're new to the game, it is a whip. It is a grenade whip to be exact. This is potentially one of the best melee weapons in the game. The funny thing is, for me personally, I don't see many people using this. Now I don't know whether that's because a lot of new players are unaware of it, a lot of new players are not that keen on whips, or they just assume that it's not very good. But as you can see in a minute, I will show you how good this thing actually is. So yeah, the funny thing as well is you can get this at a very early stage when you're playing Warframe. It's an very early and easy weapon to get. It's not a high mastery rank locked or anything like that. It's very easy to get, and it's super strong, really strong, as you will see. So as you can see, this is just my build at the moment. I will also show you some other builds which might be useful for you, but this is my build. So on the outset, the Atterax has a 25% crit chance, which is very good. Very good as a base crit chance on any melee weapon. Add the fact as well that if you put certain mods onto this, such as body count, such as buzzkill, such as blood rush, then you are very quickly, as well as of course a primed fury or any fury mod, you will very quickly be stacking that critical chance because of the speed of the strikes that you are inflicting onto the enemy. So as you can imagine, 25 is going to be very powerful in literally 3 or 4 shots, and that's why when you'll notice when you're using the weapon, there is kind of a move set, and it's the forward lunge move that does the most damage. Now for me, I think what is absolutely paramount on this build is that you need a lot of prime reach. At the moment, and here's the scary thing, I haven't even fully modded up my mods on this weapon. I formatted it twice, as you can see, but this isn't fully leveled, and it already does an insane amount of damage. And I mean insane. But going back to what I was saying, with this weapon, in my opinion, the key things that you need is you need a prime reach, you need a speed mod that is going to very quickly build up that crit chance, so that you can create devastating damage. If you don't have blood rush, that isn't an issue. You could replace that with maybe buzzkill for even more slash. And that's the thing with the slash as well. If you have a look at the slash, getting 89.1. So that's nearly 100% slash on one strike. And again, if you proc that, you proc it with anything. So if you put status onto this thing, you're going to be doing an insane amount of damage with the status. But off the outset, this is going to cause a lot of slash damage, and that is where the most of the damage comes from. It literally melts enemies. It melts them. And slash, remember, doesn't care about armor. Slash doesn't care about it. Doesn't care about shields. Doesn't care about the armor. It's going to rip through it anyway. And if you do add, I have a status mod on mine, which is obviously Virulent Scourge. If you add the status onto this, it's going to obviously create a massive status effect, plus the critical chance, plus the stack of using the status. It's going to cause damage. So yeah, at the moment this is my build. I do use maiming strike. I do like to slide and produce a lot of crit. I would also say what is critical is organ shatter, because obviously with a 5.3 times critical multiplier, you're going to be creating a lot of damage again. I would definitely also put prime pressure point to increase damage. If you don't have that, you could always replace that with spoiled strike. You could replace Spoiled Strike with Maiming Strike if you wanted to do that. That's absolutely fine. If you wanted even more of a crit chance, you could take off the status altogether, because the status without it is pretty adequate. You could replace that with True Steel. So that's even more crit chance. But yeah, that's my build. So we're going to go over and we're going to go and test this out on level 100 heavy gunners. And these are some of the most difficult enemies in the game. You're not going to face many level 100 heavy gunners. At the moment, unfortunately, I don't have any corrupted. Otherwise, I would use corrupted because they are the most difficult and have the most health pool. But unfortunately, I don't have any to test out. So apologies on that. I will in the future videos. However, these are still just as strong, and they are level 100s. So I'm going to be using Loki. I'm going to use his invisible because obviously, again, he does cause more damage. Another great thing to use as well, if you are wondering and if you want to use it, is you could also use the Atterax with Excalibur. He is devastating with the blind and Atterax combo. It is truly devastating. Go and give it a shot. Also, you can, by using the Naramon path or the skill tree, you can get it where every time you do a crit and it stacks, you go invisible. So as you can imagine, again, because you're getting a high crit chance with this weapon, you're going to be invisible for a long time. And it's going to make most missions very easy. And as you can see, I'm going in, and the terrifying thing about the Atterax, okay, it doesn't look like it is melting them at the moment, but it is, because it's a build-up of slash damage. And whilst you can't see it off screen, that enemy still proc slash damage. They're still getting damaged. They're still essentially bleeding out with the damage from the Atterax. So it is very much a high damage, a kind of slow killing machine. So if that's your kind of thing, you might like the Atterax. And obviously I'm using the maiming strike, so I'm getting a lot more crit sliding. Plus, I'm using toxic. It's melting off the armor. You can use status if you want. If you don't want to use status, is absolutely fine. It'll still do the job. And yeah, there you go. All the enemies are dead. You don't even have to, keep attacking them. As long as you've got the reach, as long as you've got the speed, and probably the prime pressure point, probably Berserker, of course Organ Shatter, you will do an insane amount of damage. So yeah, that's the Atterax. If you're on the fence about possibly using this weapon, or you've thought, no, I'm not a fan of it, I hope this video's kind of let you know how good it is. It's my melee weapon of choice. I always use it in the high, the sorties and the high level stuff. Give it a go. I'm pretty sure you won't regret it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you have, do give it a like. Do subscribe for more videos in the very near future and more tips and guides and all that good stuff. I will see you guys in the next one. And yeah, bye-bye.